everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. We're on to the divisional round now, 2 steps away from playing on the biggest stage in sports. It's the Seahawks going up against the Lions. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL sends us to the state of Michigan as we are inside Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the Seattle Seahawks and the Detroit Lions. One receiver left, 3 to the right. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Finding time. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. And when this offense is clicking on all cylinders, the running back is in sync as well.
The focal point. Runs, catches, blocks, sets the tone for the offense.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's Ford. The Seahawks send out their punter. He'll kick it away after a 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. This is taken at the 15. Might have needed just one more block as it stands. 37-yard return. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Watch it now, Barney. Here we go now. No. Check. Patriots.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
So 3rd and 2, and I count 6 defensive backs out there. Blitz coming, and down he goes. They bring a man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line. So out now come the Lions. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6.
All right, here we go.
He'll look to throw. Trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. And the starting crew defensively for Detroit.
As Darius Slay continues to improve at the cornerback position, he may live up to his own nickname as the Slaymaker.
Looking to throw. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage. All right, I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65.
Watching that, Marty.
They isolate Hopkins on the left side. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to wind up and air it out. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. Then he will take it across midfield and down to the 45. And Detroit getting set to go now. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
They go back to the air here after the INT. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
And the Seahawks add a couple of extra DBs going with the dime look here.
Indeed, 6 on the field. They'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
So much of his game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know they're in the back.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Those really long field goals, when they are made, they are things of beauty, but there is a danger to getting them started, isn't there?
Yeah, with that low drive, you've got to really keep it low to the ground, don't you, to get that distance?
Yeah, hard to just pop it up in the air because otherwise it's not going to get there. So he's got to drive it low in order to have the distance, and that usually puts it in jeopardy, gives him a chance to block it, and everyone knows it on the other side. That's when you get your best jumpers on the other side of the field and try and get up and get it.
It's a gain of 9 yards, and that'll make it 2nd and short. A good way there to have him bounce back from the interception last drive. Something underneath, a little bit of rhythm going.
I know the best ones in the league have supreme confidence, but every now and then you need a little booster, don't you? This is their way of protecting him and bringing him back, and then they'll turn him loose later, I would think.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They're up against a 3rd and 2 to start things out. They're going to look to throw. That's complete. It's Gordon. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
Now a play fake here on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
They'll come out in the pistol.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And Detroit getting set to go now. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And they still need 8 yards for the first here on 2nd down.
Here we go now. Boom, 90.
They'll set up a throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a lion that's shaken up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Here we go. Boom, 90.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Ebron caught left side. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Now they'll run it on the toss. And a short gain down to about the 33. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
No, that wasn't an explosive run. That wasn't one that took it all the way to the house. But, boy, for a team that's had trouble running it the entire game, that's the kind of run they need, hopefully, to get themselves kick-started.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Wide open receiver complete. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he whips that one incomplete there. They were trying to get it there to Josh Doctson. That'll bring up second down. Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. They'll come out in the pistol. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. They'll look to throw again. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside.
Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Ezekiel Elliott, an even 90 yards. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but...
And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. 75 yards. And the Lions are going to jump back in front. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
There he goes, right side, the 20. And all the way in, touchdown, Seattle.
Well, he made the right choice by result, but a little bit surprising because now with touchbacks coming back to the 25 instead of the 20, when guys fielded that deep in the end zone, I think most coaches want them to take a knee.
Yeah, it's resulted in more kneel downs. Not right there. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1 play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1 play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Here we go with 2nd and 7.
Here we go now. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They're going to look to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description, because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
As if he didn't have enough to think about on that route, the comeback route, coming back to the football and catching it, decided to make sure he toe-tapped and kept himself in bounds.
And that was spectacular, but on the comeback route, maybe a little easier to deal with the sideline since you've got better vision of it.
I think that's a great point, because you should know exactly where you're going and know how much space you have and make sure you get your feet down. But, yeah, coming back to the football, I like it. Good vision.
And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he'll actually lose a little. And we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Second down, the ball on the 2 here, 2nd and goal. They'll try again with Elliott, and he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that what again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Second down here after the incomplete pass.
All right, here we go. Green.
Back to throw. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now you can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
That throw good for 4. It's second down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
Here we go.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. And let's see who's faster.
It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game?
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Fresh set of downs here. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Looking for someone to throw to. That is caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup. As we'll send you down to Orlando, where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Play clock winding down. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. So pass interference on the defense. And Charles, this is a penalty we see all the time.
The offenses know what they're doing. They know how to create great matchups. And defenders, if you're not there in time, they will throw the flag.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They'll drop to throw. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's 2nd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness is a premium for all of that now.
Back to throw here. That's caught at the 3. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because
and he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. A great play there. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Lions have got it back to a one-score game. They'll look to throw. And he'll get in for the 2 points. And that'll cut the deficit down to just a field goal. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They've got to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Second down now after the incompletion. They isolate Hopkins on the left side. The wide receiver moving to a new spot. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And it's 4th down. The Seahawks send out their punter. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. We'll check on his status when we get back. So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's 2nd and long. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
No matter how you evaluate quarterbacks, at some point arm strength is going to come into the conversation. I'm really impressed by what I saw on that throw on the out route.
Well, the offense lining up 1st and 10. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Back to throw. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, is intended target. And it's 2nd down.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Throwing left side, it's complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
And he loses the football a second time. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
Back to the Philly. Here we go. No. Check. Green 39. Green 39. Watching that body.
On second down, Elliott. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Play fake here on first down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Back to throw now on second and 10. And his throw here is incomplete. Hopkins, the one receiver right. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Open man, it's Allen. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
One receiver left, two to the right. Now he'll look to throw here on second and 10. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down in bounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
Here comes the seventh play now of this drive, as this is third and 10.
Here we go now.
They'll run the option left. Oh, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Back now at Ford Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. And this one is right down the middle. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They'll set up a throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations.
DeAndre Hopkins, he's all alone. And he's going to be marked down deep in Detroit territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 54 yards. So they're operating in the red zone. 1 man in the backfield, Elliott. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. He's going to get the football. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the interception by the Seahawks D leads to a touchdown. And they will line up now for the 2-point try.
Detroit! Detroit! Hey, check 24. Set, lead,
and he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He's got the hook up here on the comebacker, complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over. We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're able to get this one down to 25. He got 29 yards that time. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Back to throw here. Throwing middle, and it's complete. Gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up first and goal. Back to throw again. His pass caught at the 4. A gain of 6 there on first.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And put a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Second and goal from the 2-yard line. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Man, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
They got to have 6 here. It's third and goal. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Jerick McKinnon from 4 yards out. And the Lions able to get this back within a touchdown. And he just did get those feet in there on the side of the end zone. Well done.
Probably the exact size foot necessary, because I think if he had another half size, that catch doesn't count. And he's able to get it in, and it counts for a touchdown.
So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And with the new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
Let's see if they dial it up this drive. And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. They'll run with Elliott. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Time is starting to run out, really becoming a factor. We'll see if the defense can get the stop they need to get the ball back to the offense. They go to Elliott again. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. And they only need a little bit here. 3rd down and very short. One man in the backfield, Elliott. And they'll give it to him here. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. They come out here in the eye. A first down carry by Elliott. And we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Now it looks like he'll throw here. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And down he'll go at the 25. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. And this offensive unit, they have to face a 3rd down and 12 now. Now a carry here for their fullback. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
And that's why the fullback position was created. You just want a big, strong, powerful guy you can hand the ball to and pick up good yardage.
The Seahawks send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. The Seahawks send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. This is brought in at the 21. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Ebron caught left side. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. And now they're in the hurry-up.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. Thought he may have gotten away with one there, but the ref caught him, and it's holding. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
No. Check. Patriot. All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. And they're going to speed things up here. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Rolling to his right. He's going to let it fly. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. Their coaching staff, they were pretty adamant beginning of the year. Our goal is to get to the Super Bowl. Well, they made it to the playoffs. That's part one, but they fall a little bit short.
And to me, once again, it exemplifies just how difficult it is to not just make the playoffs, but to win games in the playoffs. So you can set your goals high, but if anything is off during that time, you have some key injuries, or you just don't play well, you get a bad matchup where that team just has better strength than you in certain areas, this is how it ends. So I don't think it's a total loss of a season, but obviously didn't get where they wanted to go.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Detroit.